go ahead and pardon me, keep myself hydrated. And while I am reading through this chapter. But let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way. Yo, peoples, welcome to My Hero Academia reaction. We're going to be checking out chapter 278. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me close out these other windows and get them out of the way. So in the last chapter we left off, it ended with Gigantomachia barreling down the way with Mount Lady trying her best to keep him held back. Now, of course, some other things happened, but, man, that's very carbonated. But, the main takeaway is that, Shigaraki is still fighting Midoriya and everyone else, whereas Gigantomachia is making his way down there. And it turns out that even though All For One wanted Shigaraki to be the next him, his successor, Shigaraki doesn't want to be like him. So literally everything that All For One has done to mold Shigaraki into being his successor has pretty much gone up in smoke, because Shigaraki doesn't want to be like him. He wants to be better than him and do things his own way. So Shigaraki basically just took the world's most powerful supervillain's power and is now using it for his own ends instead of the ideas that All For One had set out for him, and hoping that he'll continue his tradition of doing things. Shigaraki's doing things his own way, because as you notice, in his mind in the last chapter, it almost seems like All For One's presence momentarily took over Shigaraki's body, and vocally use Shigaraki's body to say, I want All For One, little brother. Or I'm coming for you, little brother. I'm paraphrasing. But Shigaraki don't want that. He wants to do things his way, and he wants things of his own. So he literally just took the world's most powerful supervillain's quirk for himself, and now he's just doing whatever he wants with it. And now we get to see what happens after Gigantomachia is taking on Big Mount Lady. So we'll have to see. And we have Jiro yanking her earlobe jacks out of where she was. Whoa! What's up, Jiro Jack? We're back! Bad news. What? The perimeter's been breached? And Monetta's just looking on in the background. Something huge is coming our way. Get up there! We gotta hold the line! Trainees, you stay back there! You stand by back there! You mean the army of heroes? Couldn't stop whatever that is? And it still shows, and it shows like an updraft of just nothing but air and power going in the direction of Mount Lady. Like I said during the last reaction, Gigantomachia has the ability to grow the longer he fights. And currently, with this panel, he already confirms what I said last time in the fact that he's grown much larger than Mount Lady. He's hunched over and leaned forward, desperately trying to get past her with a single-minded focus. And he's still towering over her. So if he was to stand up straight, he'd literally be almost twice her size. And it's showing some villains holding on to the back of Gigantomachia. What on earth happened? And then we got Spinner, we got Compress. Well, I was underground when the big guy snatched me up for a ride. And then we got Dabi. We got one of the guys that's part of the Paraliberation. We got Togo with... We got Toga, not Togo. Toga with some clothes on, finally. Mint Tea Lover 08. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy yourself while you're here. We got Dabi, that one guy. We got Spinner, Compress, and Toga. And they're all riding on the back of Gigantomachia right now. Ugh. The boss must be awake. Nothing else would get this big lump to budge. This is sooner than expected. Hey, let me off, Dabi. Why take me and not the others? I must protect Redestro. Keep it down. They haven't noticed us yet. And then we have him. Hold on. I need to get my throat right to say this. Because it's Gigantomachia and he's massive. And he's screaming this, so Sorry for your ears.
I have been waiting, Master. I am on my way.
And he's just screaming that out loud. This is the first words that we hear him say ever since he got up. Ain't that the walking calamity? I thought he didn't move around much. The team in Jakku must have failed. We gotta back up, lady. Nothing's working. He's too solid. And before they can move, they get hit by ice by that quirk user. I forgot her name. I really did forget her name. I keep forgetting her name. The ice guy's still alive and kicking. What's happening here? This is a mess. And wait, is it a guy or is it a girl? I can't tell. They got massive eyelashes, so sometimes I can't tell. But before they can move, Cementoss uses his ability to try and wrap around her.
Whatever happens, we must stake our lives on the job.
That is the most serious I have ever seen Cementoss in the entirety of this entire series. Then there's a massive crack going across the ground. It's Redestro! I told you guys. I told you a long time ago that for all the victories that the heroes were having, for all the good fortune, it's a guy. Okay, so I've been getting it wrong this whole time. I thought it was a guy. I thought it was a girl because of the super developed eyelashes. But you can never tell in this manga. It's hard to tell. But the ice quirk using dude, he almost gets swept up by Cementoss. But then we have Redestro. I told you guys that the villains were gonna have a monumentally big comeback. For every victory that the heroes have had, the villains have always been coming back, hitting far harder than the heroes did starting out. And we got Redestro using his stress-based quirk, and he's already just like straight up burst a hole through the ground. How displeasing. And he's fighting Edgeshot. Right back at you. The moment I arrive, I got caught up in that thing's rampage. Gigantomachia's activation means that Tomura Shigaraki has awoken in an imperfect state. What did you pesky heroes do to our savior and liberator? And he just shouts out loud. I don't know if what he's doing is causing shockwaves of stress to shoot out, or if he's just yelling and it's just illustrated that way. After Gigantomachia, Liberation Warriors, our revolution is at hand. And who is that? That looks like Kamui Woods. Get closer. Get closer. Yes, ma'am. Oh, wait, who is that? Is that that looks like Kamui Woods with Midnight. Lady, hold on just a bit longer. Holding on. And she's doing her best. And she trips.
Shortest route to master.
And he just with one hand just tosses Mount Lady behind him. Giganto just one-handed Mount Lady and just threw her over his shoulder. And he immediately starts taking off. Takeyama! Stay focused. They must have failed in Jakku. And if this guy descends upon the city, we're looking at an unprecedented catastrophe. What did I tell you? I told you guys that if Gigantomachia showed up at that city, it was going to be nothing but pure destruction. Power alone won't stop him. So get me near his face. Oh, so she's got her, I forget the name of her quirk. It is some name that is tricky for me to remember right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'll remember it later. But before that can happen, we see a massive wave of fire shoot off in the direction of Kamui Woods and Midnight. See? Not so fast. The league's on his back. And 3 pebbles are thrown. Okay, so Kamui Woods is engulfed in fire. It must be tough for Kamui Woods to see his girl Mount Lady getting tossed. Well, they are partners, along with Edgeshot, Mount Lady, and Kamui Woods are part of a superhero team. So to see one of his teammates get tossed like that, I'd imagine, yeah. But Kamui Woods pushes out Midnight further so she isn't caught in the blast by Dabi. Compress throws some orbs near her, and it turns into pieces of rubble that just straight up land right on top of her. Crap. It is unwise to underestimate heroes. And then Dabi's looking on like, whatever. And it shows Gigantomachia still running, and it shows Midnight on the ground, like costume torn, face mask broken, bleeding. What quirk could possibly stop him? Majestics, no, this thing's too big. Really, we're just helpless. They're rumored to be a couple. Huh, didn't know. Can you hear me, Creati? Midnight Sensei. Oh, she's talking to Yaoyorozu. What's gonna happen? Are you aware of what's going on? Yes, thanks to Jiro's sound waves and Shoji's eyes. Mount Lady really got tossed aside? Incoming from Midnight. Since brute force won't stop him, put him to sleep. Huh? You'll be breaking the law, sure, but the situation's desperate. He must be sedated. I don't understand, Sensei. And while she's looking on, some villains look like they're making their way to her. She's mine. And there's got this one skull-faced dude that has clearly been taking far too many cues from Death Gun from SAO. Get the sedative to the heroes. No! The people walking is not towards Yaoyorozu, it's towards Mount Lady. Get the sedative to the heroes, and then get out of here. If things look dicey, save yourselves. And she's looking, and she's thinking back to when Yaoyorozu created that giant cannon during the time that Class 1A and Class 1B were going up against each other. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yaoyorozu will make a fine leader someday. I trust your judgment. Sensei? Sensei! What was that all about? Trusting Momoyao? If we gotta put someone to sleep, why couldn't Midnight do it? What happened to Midnight? And then Yaoyorozu's just thinking, what's our strategy? Regardless, she said to flee. Oh, Sensei. And then it shows Gigantomachia just steadily running through the trees, making his way to where the backup students are. And all this is going on, and there's shockwaves and destruction happening everywhere. What's the plan, Momoyao? Do we throw in the towel and retreat? Earphone jack! Tentacool! Tentacool or Tentacole? Tentacole! Give me his distance and ETA based on sound, plus the giant's height. An estimate will do. Mudman, we need your powers as well. Everyone prepare for action! He's already in earshot. Jeez, he's fast. He'll be here in under 10 seconds. Whoa! Yo! Kamui Woods, the MVP! How did he manage to link both himself and Mount Lady to the leg of Gigantomachia is beyond me, but the fact that he managed to do that while this man is barreling away? Hidswood-style jutsu must be strong! I haven't been this clingy since middle school, darn it! He slowed down, but only a little. He's 25 meters tall. That's bigger than Mount Lady. In all our lessons, we were never taught to turn our backs to the enemy. Darn straight! I will stand and fight. You all don't waste your breath. Costumes? Check. On the scene? Check. That makes us heroes. Prepare to engage the enemy! Yo, next chapter hits August 2nd, so this one's going on break as well, just like the One Piece chapter. Woo! Class 1A is about to... Class 1A and 1B are about to take on the monster that is Gigantomachia. Yo, this chapter is nice! 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. This is a good chapter. But, let's go ahead and... I need to look this up. What is her quirk? Everybody going on break. Yeah, seriously. If it wasn't for games like Ghost of Tsushima, which is a great game, by the way. I'm still working on the parts, so give me a little time. If it weren't for games, if it weren't for games and some of my book volumes and, work keeping me occupied in between these chapters, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. What is her quirk? Somnambulist. That's the name of her quirk. I couldn't remember it at first, but that's what it's called. Somnambulist. Somnambulist. Sorry, I had to make sure that I say it right every single time. But, is the video skipping for you guys? Sorry about that. I wonder if that'll clear it up. This was a good chapter. Gigantomachia is making a beeline to where Shigaraki is, tossing aside Mount Lady. Tossing aside Mount Lady so nonchalantly. Then all the heroes are trying their best to, kind of register what's exactly going on right now. Got Kamui Woods pulling a clutch move and linking both Mount Lady and himself to Gigantomachia, while slowing him down, even though Compressed, Toga, that one guy with the long hair from the Liberation Front, and everyone else. Question is, worth full price? I'm thinking about getting it. Yes, it is. It is worth the price. It is beautiful. The combat is good. It is hard if you don't know what you're doing, but it's very easy to learn. It is well worth the price. I'm telling you, as a person who hasn't even finished the game yet, it is worth it. It is very much worth it. If you're into samurai open world games, and I know open world games have been desensitized over time due to there's a whole bunch of fetch quests and do this and do that. The beauty of the game is in the world itself. It is truly beautiful. This is a game where I have spent more times in photo mode, just taking pictures of what I'm doing, in any other game that has actually had a photo mode. But let me get back to the chapter. Let me focus here so that way I can start working on editing my video for One Piece. My reaction to the One Piece episode. This chapter was really good. We got Midnight and Kamui Woods trying to go up there, but Dabi kept separated both Midnight and Kamui Woods, and then used some compressed debris to throw it directly into Midnight's face, where she was literally knocked down to the ground, where some other villains are closing in on her. Don't know how useful it's going to be, given her quirk, but hopefully they don't know where her quirk is so she can get out of it alive. I really hate for anything to happen to Midnight. She just, even though she's a massive seductress, she still has a heart of gold, especially when it comes to the students. So, overall, I can't wait to see how the things are going to transpire. But in light of this, she leaves it to Yaoyorozu because she knows just how smart she is and how much she can use the strength and how much she can put the strength of her fellow students to good use in the most efficient and most genius way possible. She leaves it up to Yaoyorozu to pretty much sedate Gigantomachia, because she can't do it because it requires her to be to his face, and she got separated, so she can't do it. So she's relying on Yaoyorozu to be the one to come up with a plan to sedate him before he gets to the city. Otherwise, mass destruction will ensue. And as that's going on, the Ice Quirk user is facing off against Cementoss, and sorry, corner eye itches so much. Sorry. I was actually expecting to see more of Shigaraki versus Midoriya and the rest of them. But it's nice that we see what's going on with Gigantomachia and what's going on with the other heroes. Redestro is up. He's up there fighting. So I don't know if he's going to be a monkey. He's going to throw a monkey wrench in the plans of Yaoyorozu. We'll have to see when that happens. But overall, this was a good chapter. I enjoyed it. I really did. It didn't get me out of my chair because of how epic it is. Now, mind you, it's still an epic chapter. I still like it. But it didn't get me out my chair, so I give it like a very strong 8. We don't know what is going to happen from this point on. Like, sure, we can put theories here and there, but unlike One Piece, theories can't really... I mean, we could put theories for My Hero Academia, but they tend to hold up a little less than that of One Piece, given the information that we have. So, this is just me saying it, but I honestly can't wait to see what's going to happen. I honestly can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next chapter. Now, of course, we're going on break, as usual. I'm trying my best not to monologue you guys too much, so I won't keep you guys too long. But, good chapter. I enjoyed it. But who knows where this story is going to head? We don't know. We literally don't know. And once this arc is over, we don't even know where it's going to go after. Because this seems like end boss territory. This is exactly what it seems like. Yet there's so much of My Hero that we don't know. It seems like Shigaraki is the end-all to beat-all boss. Like, he literally has the quirk of the most powerful supervillain that Japan has ever seen. Yet, I don't know what's going to happen after this is done. After Shigaraki's been defeated and everyone who could be saved has been saved. I don't know what's going to happen after this. It's harder to pinpoint what is going to happen in this story than that of One Piece. But I don't want to keep you guys for too long. I just wanted to do my reaction of this. Kitty Breeze, sorry you're late. It's fine. It happens. It's fine. Don't worry. Don't ever feel like you got to force yourself to be here on time. If you're not here to make it, these videos will always be up later for you to watch. But I can understand people wanting to be there while it's live. There's just a certain thing about it. But you're fine, Kitty. Don't ever feel like you got to push yourself to be here. But overall, I enjoyed this chapter. I really did. I enjoyed it. Seeing Gigantomachia and the fact that he looks like he's grown even larger than... He looks like he's grown even larger than what he looked like in the last chapter. Either that or it's just from the perspective that I saw him in the last chapter. Maybe new boss going to be hard to make someone stronger than Shigaraki, though. Exactly! This is why I said we're in end boss territory. This whole arc right now feels like it's in end boss territory. We got an individual who's ridiculously powerful even without access to his quirks. And then we got his big enforcer trying to make his way to his master. So it's kind of hard to tell where the story's going to go afterwards. Will All For One come back? I don't know. It's hard to say. Because it seems like this is like endgame levels of stuff going on right now. But that's just me. But, yeah. That's all I got to say about this chapter as a whole. Sorry if this tends to be a bit short for you guys. I mean, I got a lot more to say about One Piece than I do about My Hero since I've literally invested, I want to say, about a good decade, maybe even over a decade of my life to One Piece and enjoying that series versus My Hero, which I just started like, what, two and a half years ago? So that's, I tend to never really have too much to say about My Hero. But all I can say is that whatever is going to happen, it's all up in the air at this point. I know a lot of people put their theories and stuff, but me, I ain't got much to say. I can only point out what I'm noticing right now. We're in endgame territory in a manga that is not in its endgame chapters. That's the best way I can put it. We are in the endgame section of a story that has not actually reached its endgame yet. That's how I feel. And if Horikoshi actually comes up with someone who's a far bigger threat than Shigaraki, I'm gonna be genuinely surprised. But that's just me. So for all of you who just now showed up, sorry if I'm cutting it a little bit short here, but this was a good chapter. And if you guys want to watch the reaction, this will definitely be up a little bit later once the processing is done in full. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed this little reaction, ladies and gentlemen. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. I'm gonna hold this face right here.